Guys, by popular demand, I'm back with Cousin Joy because I'm here for the holiday weekend, so we're taking advantage of this time to respond to a question that was posted on the community wall. A young lady wanted to know, what do you say when a guy asks what you are looking for? And I thought, because she said she gets stuck and she don't know what to say, what kind of way to respond to that question. So what do you think?
Well, I think you have to know what you're looking for in order to answer that question, number one. And if you're not looking for anything in particular, that is a hard question to answer. But I think that the best answer would be someone who wants the same thing that I want.
Well, see, my thing is that sometimes, though, if a guy's a player, whatever you want, he wants it. You want marriage? Yes, yes. That was on my agenda. You want a serious relationship? I want that too. I just can't find that woman. I'm so glad you're on that page. So they kind of parrot back whatever it is you say that you want. They magically want that exact same thing. So, here's a woman thinking like, oh my God, I found my soulmate. In reality, he's like, yeah, baby, whatever you say, I want that exact thing too.
Well, for me personally, it was ironic that she asked when a guy asked that, because I always ask guys that if it's someone who I've met and I've gone on a couple dates with. I normally probably around the third date ask them, well, what are you looking for? Are you looking for friendship and I stop right there so that they can elaborate.
Okay. Because I think the way she was, I don't know, really, I don't know what she meant because she didn't really put a specific time frame on it. But a lot of guys will ask you that, as soon as you meet them almost. And those are the ones I think are, the gamers. Now, if you've been on a few dates with them, obviously they must like you on some level. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep asking you out and spending their money. But I don't know. That's really odd. I think for me, when they ask me that question, I'd be kind of cagey because I don't want to tell them. I want to know, what it is. What's the purpose of you asking me out? What is it that you have in mind? And I'd rather hear it from them than tell them what I want. Because as soon as they start, the woman starts telling them, I want to get married and I want a family and I want this and I want that. To me, that's giving them too much information. Where's his head? He's the one asking you out. Why can't we ask him what he wants first?
I always do. Because I never put my destiny in somebody else's hands.
That's right. That's how we roll. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have a hard time with that. But I think a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this, I have to confess. Whatever they say they want, I will say I want the opposite. I want the opposite. And just to be contrarian, just to see if they really mean it. Because, I have to test and see, is this really what they say that this is what they want? Is this true? Are you just telling me what you think I want to hear? Because a lot of guys think that every woman wants to get married and, all this stuff. And maybe we already been through that. Maybe we're not trying to do that again. We're not trying to go there. So we just, out having a good time. And so here he comes with his marriage talk. And it's like, well, been there, done that. Not really interested in going down that road again. So that's the approach I take. Whatever they say, I want the opposite.
Well, I know from experience too, some of the guys that I know, they were told that they just wanted to, the young lady told them, oh, I just want to be your friend. I'm not looking for anything serious. And then the guy says, maybe 6 months down the road, and depending on what kind of guy it is, could be 3 months down the road. And they're like, oh, I love you and I want to be with you. And the guy said that's really confusing to them.
Right.
Because the woman told them something different. So basically, I think it's a situation where you have to just wait and see and let things progress naturally. Because people can say anything, but proof is in the pudding. What are your actions?
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Okay, cameraman.
Amen.
What I think, okay, so in summary, so we got different perspectives. It looks like in summary, the best, most strategic approach is to say, well, I'd rather not go into this with really any kind of, expectations. Let's see how we jive and let's see what, what unfolds between the two of us. and where we are personality-wise, where we are in sync, and let's go from there. Because if you start having all these expectations about what you might want, it could either A, scare the person off. If they're not sure about it, they'll think, well, say you want marriage, they're going to automatically think that you want it with them. And that's not necessarily the case because you just met this person. You know what I mean? But some people will paint themselves into a corner like that, and it causes a lot of fear. So that's our answer on that. Okay, now the next thing we want to talk about is, okay, so we were talking about this earlier when we were eating breakfast. Women who my lovely cousin here calls trick pony A, B. Oh my God. Okay, so break down, what does that mean? How does a woman become a trick pony?
Well, basically, guys feel as though they're entitled to some certain things, certain ways, and definitely in the bedroom. And you should be doing this way. And they want to try to tell you how to do and how to do it. And I don't need no direction. I think I in certain things, I hope you haven't done it. So how are you going to tell me how to do it?
That'd be kind of interesting.
Right. And, sometimes they feel like, especially if they act like they are loyal, but they really, got their little side chicks. And then they come to you and they want you to do something a certain way. And why are you asking me that? So I had a conversation with someone and that was my response, if you want it like that and if you could get it like that, go
bang, bang.
I'm trying to tell you.
Pony, they'll do whatever it is you want them to do. You know how the rap songs go, bend over, make it clap, do this, do that. I'm not no trick pony. I don't have time for that,
Well, it's just amazing to me because a lot of the women, write in and they have this mentality that they need to serve men, that they're men's helpmeets, and that they are here to submit and to please men and cook and clean and do all the stuff for them, even though not even no kind of hint of marriage, having kids for them, all buying cars and vehicles and houses and stuff with them, and it's like because the guy wants it.
Well, depending on what it is that he wants, to be totally honest, but it's the difference between someone wanting something and asking for it and someone being entitled and demanding that you do something a particular way. I don't owe you anything. I do something because I want to do it, and then you're not going to give me direction on how I am going to do it because it's not going to get done that way.
Well, there you heard it. So you have, okay, so what other kind of ways can a woman be a trick pony? A, B.
Well, basically, this is a female that is so happy to say the guy is handsome. And oh Lord, if he's well endowed, he just thinks like everybody wants him.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, there are some women that just, they might not be very attractive. And they get with a guy who is fine. And if he's fine and well endowed, that whatever that man says, they gonna do. If he tell her to hop on one leg and hold your breath, that's what a trick A, is.
A trick A, B, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's something that we run into a lot where these women feel like, well, I've done all of this for him. We're just like a husband and wife. We do all these things together. I do all this for him. And they don't understand why they're not getting a level of commitment and real involvement and interest from him that they're looking for. And I just feel like, they just do too much. In my mind, men have to be, somewhat challenged. They have to do something. They have to invest in you and the relationship. And if they don't, then it's just too easy for them to just, do whatever they want to do because they haven't really put themselves into it.
Right. And I would say, too, whether they're married or they are married, Just because you are married to someone doesn't mean that you want to constantly be the person giving in all the time either. Because then in a man's mind, feeling like a challenge. I don't care if you're their girlfriend or you're their wife. They respect a woman who is not going to do things that she doesn't want to do just to make him happy. And the fact that you stand up for yourself and you like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
You know, and why are you asking for this all of a sudden? Me being me, you know, I'm not the most trusting person in the world. I'm like, oh, what you doing? You know, you want all of that? Well, evidently you got one of them trick pony at, you know, broads over here somewhere. So you need to go over there and have her jump over some hurdles and gallop and do whatever it is you want done.
Do
Because
a little pony spins.
that is not me. I'm so not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, and I think too, you know, once you get a little more mature and you've been through all these different, you know, situations and, you know, been married, divorced, and whatever, you have your kids, all stuff, you just come at stuff with a different perspective. It is not, you just be like more in tune with who you are and what you want out of life and stuff, and you just not really having it. Just don't have any space for that kind of stuff. It's like, I'm not jumping through no hoop. Shit, I can't barely jump an inch off the ground. All this ass, I'm not jumping through no hoop. I'm just not doing it. So it's just really interesting when I see women doing all that. You know, I had a friend, girl, I tell you, we would go out for happy hour after work, and around, you know, so we get off of work at like 4:30. By 6 o'clock, she was leaving. I was like, why are you leaving so early? You know, we just got there like 5 o'clock. You get off of work before you get there at 5. Because she had to go home and cook her husband dinner because he would not eat anything. He would be sitting on the couch waiting for her to come in the dark. Waiting for her to come in and cook him some food. This is a true story.
Oh, well, I would have had a nice little hungry man dinner for him. He could have made. It would have been a good one. I wouldn't have got a little cheaper. But, you know, there's some things you can do for yourself. And whether you're married or not, you're not there. That's not my child. That's supposed to be my mate, my man, my husband. You know, I'm not going to coddle a grown man. That is, as I said before, I want my man to be a man.
Yeah,
I can't do little boys. I can't do little boys. Raise my children. I'm not about to raise a husband too.
Yeah. We're in agreement there. Come ready to rock and roll and do your thing. And don't be putting a bunch of responsibility on me that I didn't sign up for. You know, they love to blame shift and put that stuff on women and tell you, well, you need to do that because you're my wife, or because you're my this. And it's like, no, that's not right.
Well, you know what was just so ironic? There was a meme floating around that said, women don't cook like grandma used to. And on the flip side, it said, well, men don't pay bills like grandpa used to.
No shit.
And take care of home. So it's a two-way street. No one person should be doing more than the other. A relationship, as I said before, it's not 50-50, it's 100-100. You both have to give your all in order to make it work. And it's not all about the bedroom. It's a culmination of things that make a relationship work. And it entails both parties doing their parts.
I agree. I think it has to be, you know, that's not only 100-100, but we have to look at, you know, what partners bring to it, because some people are more powerful or stronger in certain aspects than the others. So their 100 might not look the same all the time. So people listen to this need to understand that. Like if you're a better person at managing money, say, than your partner, well, you may have, you know, 80% in that area. He may only have 20, but then in other areas he has 80 and you have 20. So, you know, in the end, it balances out. I have to break this down because people, you know, we have a lot of young people that don't get it. They don't understand these finer nuances.
Well, for me, if he only has 20, I am going to assist him in getting up to a higher number because all parents, especially parents of people of color, they fail to teach their children about finances and credit scores and things of that nature. So if I'm strong in that area, I'm going to pull him up. You know what I mean? And vice versa, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. If he's strong in an area, he should be pulling me up. We should be meeting each other in the middle, you know, so that where one is stronger, that we, you know, can be joined together, you know, at the hip, you know, so that we're both helping each other to grow.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. So this is the conclusion of this video. We'll be getting together, you know, because I'm up here all the time. We always got something to say. We always got some shit talking going on in this household. So we will talk to you guys real soon. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Deb, Cousin Joy. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. He was still recording.